Happy Spookies, everybody. I hope you're all doing well, having a most excellent whatever time of day it is. And if you're new to the channel, please be sure to hit subscribe. It would mean a lot if you join us here while we ramble on. Today I'm going to go ahead and talk about a neat little found footage movie I came across this morning. It's streaming for free on Tubi right now, so if you go there and check it out, you want to come back. I will go into spoilers, but if I do any heavy spoilers, it won't be till the very end, as well as I'll go ahead and leave you a little alert or something like that saying, hey, spoilers. But Inner Demons came out in 2014, directed by Seth Grossman, and it stars
Laura Fosberg as Carson Morris, Morgan McClellan as Jason Hurwitz, Kate Whitney as Susan Tully, Brian Flattery as Tim. We have Colleen McGrant as Beth Morris, and Christopher Parker as Steve Morris.
Now, what I really enjoy about this movie is its concept. It's a neat little concept, which I think they ended up executing pretty well overall. But here we have Carson Morris, who is a straight A student, or at least was a straight A student. She's doing really well. Now, she also attends a very prestige Catholic college, and they're not Catholic. Like, her and her family aren't really religious. The college reached out. That's how smart I guess she is the college wanted her so bad. So they're like, hey, yeah, go for it. And there she has a bunch of friends, but seemingly overnight, she just becomes a freaking drug addict. Becomes like, I believe it's heroin. Also, just content warning, trigger warning, if you watch this movie, because there's a lot of like scenes where it shows her like, trying shooting up and things like that. So if you're just, just putting that out there, if somebody's kind of like sensitive to those type of things, because they deal with a lot, not just that, but they go into like rehabilitation centers, things like that, people talking. So, but yeah, seemingly overnight she just becomes a freaking drug user. They're not entirely sure. Her entire appearance starts changing, like her fashion. She was like always wearing like, bright white and stuff like that, and then she becomes like this sort of goth look is what they say. And of course, as worried parents as they are, they end up contacting this sort of like documentary crew, which they play off as being, this is going to be for educational purposes for schools. So they're going to like follow her around about her drug use, but it's actually a intervention they're gonna do. Now, really quick, I know what you're thinking. Like, okay, what's this? You can watch this stuff on freaking TLC or something like that. They have intervention shows. Well, what are you getting at? Here's a little twist to the whole movie. As the movie progresses, we start to get little clues and hints that there's actually some sort of supernatural possession going on. She's taking drugs to kind of suppress that possession, so it doesn't unleash and start fucking killing people. That is really neat. I thought it took that concept. I was like, okay, where's this gonna go? And I was like, okay, wow, that's actually pretty interesting. And like I said, I thought they executed it pretty well. The acting from the main girl is like probably one of the better parts, from her, like just seeing her freaking like go through different emotions, especially once they go to the rehabilitation center part of the movie. But yeah, we have this documentary crew. Our main person out of the documentary crew is this guy, the cameraman, I believe, Jason. He ends up being very sympathetic towards her, and he's like the only person that's really believing her, because it sounds freaking nuts. Even when they eventually, okay, so we're gonna start getting into spoilers. If you don't want to know more than that, this is probably the part where you're gonna want to stop, drop, let them know. All right, I'm sorry, DMX just started channeling through me.
Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop.
But no, this is the part where we're gonna get into spoilers, so here it is. So at some point, the documentary crew is like investigating her room. They hella lie to the mom saying, oh, we just need you to stand outside, for the lighting. We're just gonna get some B-roll in here. Don't worry, we won't touch anything.
Okay. Oh, I'll just.
But then
I'll
could you
stay right over
but actually,
here.
I need you to actually just step out of the room for a sec while
Okay.
with
Because
too
don't
many
touch
people to
anything.
lighting.
But no, what do they end up doing? They start snooping, because they're a documentary crew, except for the Jason. He's the only sympathetic one. But everybody else in this crew is just looking to make money, looking to exploit this type of situation, which I just thought was also a really good little thing to kind of put in there about, because that's true. A lot of these fucking shows are just 100% exploitive about that type of thing. While they're looking in her room, they end up finding a couple books about demonic possession, and they also find one about mental illness. Man, I just love how this movie touched up on these type of things. Could you imagine? What if every person that had some sort of mental illness was actually linked to some sort of demonic depression? Demonic possession. I don't know. That concept was just crazy, and I just thought it was really neat. During the intervention, it gets very hostile. They have a friend there from college, and when it's her turn to talk, she ends up attacking her friend for some reason, and she runs upstairs, and after this, they end up agreeing. After she runs upstairs, she ends up agreeing, like, okay, I'll go ahead and try your rehab, even though she knows what's going on with her. And there's a really interesting thing they do in the rehab center, because, you know, as people go around, they're like explaining who they are, or just, you know, I'm here for crack cocaine and this and that.
I used to suck dick for coke. I seen them. Now that's an addiction, man.
You know, nobody knows each other personally. They just start saying why they're here. And there's a part where later on in the movie, the demon starts coming out because she hasn't been using. And the demon knows like certain things about people that are harassing her. So when these like two people that like kind of like speak up against her or just kind of make fun of her or something like that, it like tells them like, oh.
No, missus, you in hell.
What?
And she's waiting. She's waiting for
Carson,
you.
stop it.
You fixed her last shot. You left your daughter with a drug dealer, and he fucked her.
When that happened, I was like, oh, that's very clever. I like how they played with that. What's interesting, while she's in there, it's like day 5, day 6, whatever. She is not really getting any better. She's actually looking a lot worse. Normally when people are using, they look like fucking shit. Like they have no skin color. It's just, it looks like, I don't know, have you ever seen like a freaking crackhead? I live in East Las Vegas, so I've seen them all the time on. So the whole time she's possessed, she looks normal. She looks completely normal. Like not really what a person using would look. And while she's withdrawing, she actually starts looking like she's like more of a person that would be using. I thought that was very interesting. And it's noticeable that she's not getting any better. And eventually, after a few violent outbursts, they're gonna send her to a psychiatric hospital. Our homeboy Jason here, he's so sympathetic. She tells him like, you know what? Because he believes her at this point. Which like, you know, this is why I use, and the only thing that can help me control it is if you go and get me some freaking heroin. But of course, he cannot resist, so he ends up giving her. This is kind of messed up, actually, to be honest. He ends up injecting heroin in her unconsciously. So the next day, when she's having her psych evaluation, she's actually nailing it. Like, the doctor's kind of like, okay, you're kind of acting very normal. She even says, like, yeah, that demon stuff I was talking about must have just been a metaphor. And the doctor notices in her arm when he goes to check her pressure that she's got, like, a freaking needle injection. And right away, he's going to think that, okay, she's freaking using, but Jason ends up stepping up and he's like, no, it was me. I actually did it for her when she was sleeping. She needed it. That ends up turning into like this big fiasco where Jason gets like fired. She gets expelled from the freaking the rehab center. Now I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward a little bit because this ending was nuts. Like this is like, what the fuck? This is like the very like last like maybe 5-10 minutes of the movie really just goes crazy at the end. During the time that she's been expelled and like a week passes or a few days passes, Jason's being kind of creepy and he's like stalking her and like staying in front of her house, trying to see if she's left the house at all. He's also been doing a lot of research on like exorcisms and things like that. So, and also he went to go talk to her best friend that was there during the intervention that got attacked. He's very curious as to why she was attacked personally and not anybody else, like the mom or anything like that. We end up finding out that during her stay at this little school, she wanted to be just like everybody else. She wanted to fit in just like all the girls. You know, she wanted, people want to be accepted. Sometimes people are willing to say and do whatever that takes. And those kids thought it would be funny to say, hey, you know what? We're actually Satanists, man. Yeah, we believe in the devil. But yeah, they tell her that we're Satanists and they want her to perform some type of satanic ritual about letting a demon inside her. And it's all like captured on video footage. Like this is how we end up finding out. So conveniently, you gotta love found footage, right? But yeah, we get to see footage of like this little prank. They like go all out. They have like the actual, I don't know where they get this book. They say it's the book of the devil or something like that.
Codex Demonis. It's the book of the devil.
They perform their little ritual, but then they say the friend says that she took it too far. Like, they were just joking, this and that. Whatever she's wrong with her, it's her fault. Because in the video, she starts like spazzing out, and it's obviously, what's happening is this freaking demon is possessing her because these people want to be fucking stupid and mean. So eventually, after learning this information, and he ends up getting his hands on the book, he ends up heading back to the house with the camera crew, and this is where things get all fucking crazy, I swear. The last bit, like the whole movie is very interesting in my opinion, but the last bit is like, what the fuck? It's nuts. He ends up getting inside of the house and performing an exorcism on Carson, but it doesn't go too well and she becomes like fully possessed, and like one by one, she starts like killing everybody in the fucking house, dude. She even kills the mom. She like comes behind her and like slashes her throat. But we find out also by the mom, like right before that happens, is that the dad is a big drinker and he used to like hit the mom. So the mom used to like take it out and hit the daughter, I suppose.
And when he drinks, he takes it out on me, and I take it out on Carson.
It's like a very nuts, like it's a lot of like craziness and very like deeper stuff when you really think about it. But there's also like this crazy supernatural twist to it. So it's like, what the fuck am I watching? It's good. Listen, I thought it was very well, but let's get to it. Since she started killing everybody in the house, the lights and everything went out. So I guess through the power of love or something, I'm not entirely sure, Jason is able to like communicate and get through her, and like the lights come on. She seems like she's okay. She's like, Jason, you came back for me. Like, it seems like everything is okay. Like, everything worked. Happy ending? Happy ending? No, not that kind of happy ending. Get your head out the gutter. So yeah, everything seems cool, and all of a sudden the door opens up, dude, and the dad walks up in there with a fucking shotgun and just blows her head. Oh my god, just blows her head up, dude. It's nuts. And then he just turns the gun on himself and blows his head up. Like, dude, what the fuck? And then not only that, but then you find out that Jason is actually possessed now. Like, his eyes are all black and everything, and he's got the demon inside of him. And the only people who are alive are himself, and I believe his like producer or something. But he ends up like going to her and just like choking her out, and then, you know, that's pretty much it. It ends on like a bad note. I don't know. I saw this morning. I just wanted to make a quick video and talk about it. That's why, and I'm glad that I put a spoiler thing now because I know I get really into it. I don't know why I never really did that before. I think I got a few complaints about that. Just like not putting a spoiler alert or anything like that. Whatever. I don't know. Inner Demons, found footage horror movie, came out in 2014, streaming on Tubi. I'm gonna go and say check that shit out because it's definitely worth a watch. I feel like it would go good with a double bill of if you watch this and The Possession of Michael King, which is another very good possession found footage movie. That should probably be on Tubi too if you want to look. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and shut up. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you all. Please leave a comment letting me know, I don't know, anything you want. Just say what's up. Just say, hey, you talk way too much, dude. Chill out. Happy Spookies.